Hi guys, welcome back to Karen Chase Paranormal Investigations. I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a great weekend. And for sure, it's really looking nice out there. I was kind of wishing that last night I had been doing an investigation, but we've actually got one next week. And it's going to be really interesting because going back to our undisclosed location, which is over in the Black Country. For anybody who doesn't know what the Black Country is, it's like Dudley area of the West Midlands. I think they call it a Black Country because of its industrial roots. I think there may have been a lot of coal mining going on, a lot of foundry work. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but yeah, it's called the Black Country anyway. And this location is still undisclosed because it's an ongoing investigation and we don't really want to attract too many people to it. At the moment, I think eventually, if things keep escalating as they are, it will probably get out anyway. But right now, we're just trying to keep it on quite low key. So I personally have been there a couple of times so far. My friend has been monitoring the area with locked off cameras for around about 2 years now, and we've had some really interesting UAP activity. That's unidentified aerial phenomena. We've also had some ground phenomena, being like kind of really crazy lights that kind of appear roughly around ground level and disappear. Also, this has coincided with some seismic activity, so there could be a connection between a seismic activity and these like strange lights, which to a certain degree appear to be they don't appear to be kind of random. They appear to follow I don't know, it's almost as eyewitnesses said, it almost appeared to be intelligent in the nature of the way they're moving and stuff. So I think we can maybe discount now just random lights, so airplanes, especially if they're that low down. And obviously there's other stuff like, I mean, Chinese lanterns, don't see too many of them now. I think they're more, there was a bit of a phase of using Chinese lanterns, but I don't think people use them so much now. So yeah, we're going back to this area and it's getting really fascinating. A footprint was found again. The picture doesn't belong to me. It was found by this friend of mine, and it's a really bizarre footprint. I can just give you a description of it. It's three-toed. The closest thing I found to it was a dinosaur footprint, and it's around about the same size, perhaps. So it's like a bird, between a bird and a lizard. And so that's really interesting. Somebody's dog disappeared as well, and yeah, things are getting a little bit strange there. So we're heading back there next week, next Saturday, and bringing along a couple of friends. The one guy, he's coming along. He wants to try CE5 meditation, and he says to contact UFO. I wasn't sure what CE5 stood for until I actually sort of just googled it, and it's like one of them duh moments. Basically, CE5 stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. So he wants to try some medication. Probably needs some medication. Actually, he wants to try some meditation to see if we can contact these lights, see if we can bring them out of the sky, and kind of get an idea of maybe if they're friendly or not. Although I'm not quite sure about the idea of testing that in reality. I mean, I don't want to kind of get zapped. I keep thinking about those poor dogs on the Skinwalker Ranch, the ones that kind of ran out chasing the lights, and then they just found these two sort of like splodges the next day, and they never found a dog. So I'm guessing they met with a very extraterrestrial end. But yeah, so yeah, we're looking to contact these unidentified aerial phenomena to see if they're intelligent and they're friendly. And I'm kind of up for that. I'm very open-minded when it comes to these things. I do have a book called the Akashic Records, which is like the Akashic Records are supposed to be this like grand version of Google for the universe, and you're supposed to be able to ask the universe a question and kind of get an answer. I've tried it a couple of times. It's very difficult because having a cat around, cats tend to like to be part of the whole thing. So I think the last time I tried it, the cat was trying to walk across the back of me, and it just got a bit messy. So I haven't really done it since. I need to find some quiet time to maybe do it. I might actually go kayak chase with the book, and when it's warm, and just sit somewhere quietly and see if I can access the Akashic Records up there. Maybe make a few notes afterwards of what I find. I've also got a manual on how to remote view. Now, again, for the same reasons, I never had a chance to sit down and properly explore, get into that meditative mindset, so I can maybe to see if there's anything going on there. It's really interesting stuff, but for sure, next Saturday we're gonna try this. And like I said, I didn't know that CE5 just simply stood for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, so that kind of got me thinking about what the other encounters were. So I've just got a wiki page up here. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the rest of them on that scale, just to see if it makes any sense to me. So we've got, and this was taken from, this scale was formulated by J. Allen Hynek, who was well known for being part of the Project Blue Book. And I won't go into that too much. There's plenty of programs on Alan J. Hynek. I do know that he advised on, he was an advisor on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So there you go. So he formulated a scale called Hynek scale, and so I'm just going to have a quick read through that. So at the very top, we've got nocturnal lights. These are lights in the night sky, and that's all it says. And we got next down, we've got daylight discs, UFOs seen in the daytime, generally having a disc or oval shape. Indeed, actually, I have an experience with seeing an oval shape. I mean, at the time, I would have referred to it as maybe a cigar shape, but yeah, slightly elongated oval shape. I would have had that down. Definitely wasn't disc shaped, but I did see it in 1978, and well, I'll do a short video about that, because we're getting to this time of year now where it was around about late May when I saw it. So I'm going to take you out to that location and do a quick video just to give you an idea of my perspective of where I'm standing and everything. And I would have been 11 years old at the time. So we've got nocturnal lights in the sky. We've got daylight discs and oval shapes. Radar visual. Okay, that makes sense. UFO reports that have a radar confirmation. These are objects which clearly don't correspond to any flight paths, any existing planes or anything. And I'm guessing that sometimes with these visual radar reports, that the object that radar picks up can and probably would like disappear at some point from the radar, as it either flies off or just goes or cloaks itself, perhaps. So then we've got Close Encounters of a First Kind. These are visual sightings of an unidentified flying object, seemingly less than 500 meters away, 150 meters, 500 foot. Yeah, there has to be like a certain amount of detail with these for them to be classed as a Close Encounter of the First Kind. Close Encounters of a Second Kind, a UFO event in which physical effect is alleged. Okay, so maybe your car stops. You'll get maybe you'll get slight burning from the effect of whatever's going on. you'll have animals that react perhaps, and so even perhaps like paralysis, or and that there'll probably be some kind of like trace of it. So there'll be some evidence of maybe that it landed, or so scorch marks in the ground perhaps, the affected vegetation. So I guess like crop circles where you have the bottom of a corn, for example, it's been scored right at the bottom. I mean, lots of people try to fake crop circles, and but the defining point of an actual crop circle that has been allegedly caused by a UAP is that they've often found that the bottom of the corn is scored in such a way that it would just be impossible for somebody to physically go around and do that themselves. So that's close encounter of the second kind. So we've got close encounter of the third kind, which is a UFO encounter in which an animated entity is present. Okay, so I mean, obviously you're actually meeting the occupants of the UFO, or you're meeting a humanoid type creature that isn't human, that you wouldn't be able to identify as being human, that you're confident isn't human, I guess. Yeah, so okay, so it's got subtypes actually to a close encounter of the third kind, and it's got an entity is observed only inside the UFO. So this can just be an observation of an entity inside, outside, near a UFO. Yeah, I mean, there's various subtypes to that. So then I thought, well, what the hell? So those are the three encounters. So what is a fourth kind encounter? So we've gone from seeing it in the sky, getting physical evidence on the ground. That's two. Actually seeing an occupant of what we perceive to be a UFO, which is three. And now the fourth kind is actually interaction or abduction of yourself, or somebody you'd be abducted. So that would be the fourth kind. And the fifth kind is so the fifth kind is a direct communication between extraterrestrials and yourself and humans. And I guess that might encompass the fourth kind. I suppose it encompasses all the ones previous to that. Although if you do get abducted, and you are communicating with them, you might not be aware of the first signs of seeing a UFO. But I guess there's going to be some sort of physical evidence that you've been abducted. Maybe definitely psychological evidence, I would have thought, if you remember that kind of thing, because it seems to affect people quite a lot. So yeah, we are essentially trying to engage in a close encounter of the fifth kind, which is direct communication between aliens and humans. That's going to be interesting. So that's what we're going to be doing next weekend. Hopefully we'll have a weather for it, because we're going to be outside, and hopefully nothing untoward will come off it. They say that if you go into that relaxed state of mind and you try and open yourself up, then you have to be sure to kind of give out good vibes. Basically, you're asking for good communication. I guess it's like if somebody comes knocking on your door, you don't want them to be aggressive or have too many bad thoughts, because people give out the wrong vibe. If a stranger knocks your door and they give out the wrong vibe, that door's going to slam in their face, or they're going to get a bad reaction from you. And I guess it's the same with any kind of species. So if we're contacting extraterrestrials or intelligent life forms of any kind, then if we kind of give out friendly vibes, good vibes, and we ask the right questions, perhaps in our heads or out loud, then then maybe we're going to get a more open dialogue, perhaps. I mean, I say dialogue as if it's an easy thing to do to talk to extraterrestrials. I mean, I won't go into my personal experience. Uh, I think I've kind of come close to having, yes, something happen, but it's I've always kind of I've spoken about it with friends, but I've never really kind of expressed. I've never really wanted to express it too much because, for a start off, I mean, I was how old was I? About 13 years old, and it's just it's yeah, it was quite a dark period of weird things happening. I mean, it felt and it happened outside the house, but it felt like slightly. There was a series of things that happened which I have no idea what kind of supernatural or whether they were a true physical thing. I have literally no idea, but a series of things happened over a period of time because of something else that was done, and because of that, the whole period of I don't know, months, maybe 6 months, felt quite dark, and whenever it's like when people have ghosts in a house, you think, oh great, how exciting, you've got a ghost in your house, oh, you must record it, but actually it's really it feels really violating to have a presence there, even in the daytime. I've had that at one of the properties I lived at with my folks, and you could walk down the corridor in the middle of the daytime, alone as an adult, and suddenly just be rooted to the spot because you kind of felt something was watching you from behind. There was never any bangs or anything like that, but you just knew there was something really, really nasty there. And I've had other experiences. I mean, I think what I'll do on this channel, I will sort of let you into some of the experiences I've had. I don't want to come across as like a crackpot because I'm not. And these experiences, I don't live every day. I don't use it as like an emotional leverage with life and stuff. These are things that I perceived to have experienced, and as I know, as an adult, perception can often be very, very strange. We've some things we feel we experienced and maybe we didn't, but so I'm very objective about these things. And having studied at university I studied psychology at university, and one of the things you do, you have to try and be objective about every experience and try and look at any environmental factors, blah blah blah. So I'm always looking for reasons to why, especially when I was younger, I had experiences, and obviously having studied psychology, I then look at how I was as a child, with my social surroundings, my environment, etc. Anyway, I digress. But I'll kind of feed you in with a few of these little stories. What I might do, I might try and get out to Cannock Chase, and soon, and to and it'd be nice sitting in a nice living room. And also it's good to actually talk about these things when I'm out at somewhere like Cannock Chase, because if there's anything around, I mean, I don't just believe in Bigfoots and stuff like that. I do believe that Cannock Chase has a spirit energy there that's tied to that area, and I think, and sometimes a lot of stuff happens in Cannock Chase when you're talking about the spirit world and everything that it encompasses, and you're just having a chat and then things happen. This actually often happens with other paranormal investigations, where you stop focusing on the subject and you start kind of inwardly focusing and you sort of forget about it. It's almost like it wants to remind you that it's there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to next Saturday. Hopefully you'll see me again. If you don't, you know, I'll probably be somewhere up in the stars, I guess, but hopefully not. So you know, because I'm kind of looking forward to this year. So the rest of this year, I should say. So until next time, take care of yourselves. I hope you're really, really good and have a great week.